All right, heading into 2025 here, what can we expect from Samuel Basallo? He's a polarizing prospect with a ton of power. He's a young 20-year-old catcher. A lot of people are ready to see him in the big leagues, but when is that really a possibility? Now, Samuel, look, hitting-wise, he's probably going to go through the same stuff that we've seen several of our other really good prospects go through. Gunnar came up and struggled. Adley came up and struggled. Jackson Holliday came up and struggled. Cowser. I would expect if Samuel Basallo gets his cup of tea this year for those 10 games or whatever, I would expect to see the same thing. It's a clear difference between AAA and the big leagues, obviously. Why I think it takes Samuel just a little bit longer, and kind of like we saw with Adley. Adley was kind of that mid-year guy. It's different when you control a pitching staff. You can hit all you want, to be ready for the big leagues. We see that with Kobe Mayo. But being a catcher is a little bit different. And, you have to learn how to manage a pitching staff at the higher levels. You have to learn how to, use different bullpen guys. You got to learn how to start reading the charts at the big league level. Obviously, their analytics and stuff like that are a little bit different than AAA. And you got to read, and how to tack a guy in a certain count and, set guys up. That's a big thing. So it's hard to learn that at AAA. But, they're going to go over it as much as they can. Him being 20 years old, he's got a lot to learn. And you don't want to rush this kid, especially being a catcher. When Adley came up, Adley was 24, almost, I think 24 years old. So it's a 4-year difference. He played in competitive college baseball. Samuel's got a lot to learn. And, being in spring training right now around Gary Sanchez, around Adley Rutschman, around Tim Cousins, it only helps him. And, to go back down in AAA this year, they're going to give him a lot to work on. And they might even provide him better analytics than they do a typical AAA catcher. That I'm not 100% sure on, but I feel like they're going to do everything possible to get him ready to what he would see every day in the big leagues, how to handle the bullpen and whatnot. Building the relationships with the starters. Now, he only had a cup of tea last year in AAA, and it looked pretty good. But again, he's 20 years old, and he's got a lot to learn. It's not easy to come in, and pick up the little things of a batter. They go over it in the minor leagues and whatnot, but minor league guys are always kind of working on something. So their routines and what they do in the box is not always the same. The big league guys, it's all about repetition. You learn how to pick up on certain things. If a guy's kind of cheating over the plate a little bit, and he may be looking for an inside fastball, he might turn that front foot just a little bit more than he would if he's trying to go the other way. It's just little things like that that they teach you at the minor league level, but you don't really start to see it until the big league level. So I know the expectations for Samuel are extremely high in Baltimore. Everybody wants to see him. We will eventually. Again, there's a lot for the kid to learn. And when he does get here, he is going to struggle, and that's going to be okay. But he might not. He's got, when you watch the ball off his bat right now, in a lot of these videos in spring training, it just sounds different. It's got that Gunnar Henderson sound to it. When they make contact, it's just different than everybody else. And that's a really good thing. Everyone's excited for Samuel to get to Baltimore. It's just when? When do they feel like he will be ready? How many reps does he need with a AAA pitching staff and a bullpen? I want to see a lot of Samuel Basallo, and I want to see, how he handles, calling the pitching game and stuff like that. If a pitcher is struggling coming out of the pen, what does he do to kind of rein him in? These are a lot of things that, not that I'm just looking for it. The Orioles are looking for this too. And that's going to kind of gauge how far away he is. But this kid's going to get here eventually, and he's going to light up the league, in my personal opinion. He's got great bat-to-ball skills. He's got a fantastic arm. He's 20. He's learning the defensive game. He's already pretty good, but he's learning more and more. The blocking's really good. He's had high praise from Charlie Morton, saying how he receives the ball and whatnot. He's never seen a young kid receive a ball like that. So he's ahead of the game already. It's just going to be a matter of time. Let me know your guys' expectations for Samuel Basallo this year, and I'll catch you later.